I'm Roy Blackwood, Executive Director of Columbia Theater and Fanfare.
So my name is Leah Solomon. I'm the new Administrative Officer for the Hammond Historic District.
I'm Jeffrey Smith. I'm an architect here in Hammond, so Holly and Smith Architects. And I believe that Hammond is the best kept secret in Louisiana.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
There were parts of the 1960s that were not economically advantageous for many small towns around the country, including Hammond, so that was tough.
We decided we were an automobile society, so we put interstates in. So I-12 and I-55 were put in on the outskirts of Hammond. With that came developers who bought property at the interstates and drew all the commercial properties away from downtown Hammond.
But there was this great exodus from downtown Hammond, which eventually it became positive because there was all of this real estate available. And so I would really say the second half of the 1970s, early part of the 1980s was a kind of a low point in terms of prosperity of downtown. Hammond was still a very pleasant place to live, but it was a sleepy place and not an awful lot happening.
Historic District started in 1978 officially, and it was just the first of the local preservation programs to help the whole community in a downtown that was, falling into dilapidation and blight because of suburbanization, automobile culture.
The National Register Historic District was created in downtown Hammond, and Tom Anderson signed into law in 1979, Municipal Historic District. So I think that started the ball rolling. Basically what it did, it protected our inventory of historic buildings.
Tom Anderson was the youngest mayor in the United States in Hammond. His idea, and it was a good one, was to try to get a team of people to reinvigorate the downtown by encouraging professional services like doctors' offices and various kinds of things to the downtown.
In the 80s, the Main Street program came into being in Hammond, and there was Paul Fromberg was a Main Street manager for Hammond. So he was here for a few years, and while he was here is when the Downtown Development District was formed. So that was the next big step. So that was back in 1987, January of 87. State legislature allowed us to create a downtown development district, which is a taxing district. And then we hired our first director, Marguerite Walters.
Well, Marguerite was the first director downtown of the Main Street Program, and she did a wonderful job with all of that. Was able to leverage grants, get a lot of infrastructure improvements done, sidewalk renovations, lighting, signage, and the elimination of some things that were happening was equally important.
So all of those things started adding to the preservation of the district and means and methods by which people could afford to renovate the buildings. And then some pioneers decided, well, let's see if we can put some apartments upstairs. Because you couldn't make a commercial space. Again, parking was in everybody's mind. You had a big mall out on the interstate. So people started looking at it differently and thinking of boutique shops and housing the units above.
So that was really the progeny, the development phases. And then a number of years ensued, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon and could see what Hammond could become.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
So I try to encourage people to live here. There are great places to live here, wonderful housing. I don't live but 5 blocks from here, and we love Hammond. We've been here 40 years now.
I've done probably 50 projects in downtown Hammond since I've been here. My third involvement, I think the most important one, is I put my money where my mouth is, and my partner Michael Holly and I own several buildings downtown. So we started renovating projects, adaptive reuse, speculative investments to try to help revitalize, bring these buildings back to use. Yeah, so in Morgan and Lindsay, the Bulk Cell, which is apartments and office space. Morgan and Lindsay also has a boutique storefront. And the Ritz Theater apartments. The Ritz was the old Ritz Theater, which it's got we got tax credits for that because we refurbished the marquee. So the neon light marquee, which is very spectacular piece. And what we did is the building was tall enough to fit 3 levels in it. So the first level we have parking. And then there's 2 levels of apartments above, so it's townhouse apartments above and parking.
I had board members from the theater and patrons of the theater live downtown. There are a lot of faculty from the campus who live downtown in the second levels down there and really, really enjoy it. They can walk to anything. They can go out for a drink. They can go out and eat. Hammond has become a really interesting place to live. And before, it was a nice place to live, but it wasn't necessarily a destination. And now I think for a lot of people it is a destination, not only for restaurants, but for entertainment such as the Columbia Theater.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I would say the crowning jewel of our projects in downtown Hammond is the Columbia Theater.
This building was just a matter of days away from going under the Wrecker's Ball. It was going to be totally torn down. The bricks would have been salvaged and hauled away.
That was a $5 million renovation. And again, what helped make that successful was the Historic Commission being in place, preserve the buildings on either side. At one time, someone wanted to tear those buildings down. And by the fact that we preserved them, that when the money came through from the state of Louisiana to renovate the buildings, and again the DDD got that funding, we were able to expand the ancillary spaces in the theater into the 2 buildings on either side, stairwells and elevators and restrooms and air conditionings. Therefore, we can bring back the theater back to its original purpose.
But this is a fabulous facility. I want people to understand how rare it is. When you go to other towns the size of Hammond, look around for a Columbia Theater. You won't see one. This is one of the great stories, I think, of the whole area.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
What's your favorite thing to do on Main Street?
Eat.
Eat at all the restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, usually on Friday night or Saturday night, we're out eating in one of the restaurants in the downtown area.
Food in Hammond is really great. I feel like restaurants are a huge pillar of what makes it, you know, the Hammond downtown of the 21st century. And so I love the different food options. Just the quality surprises me every day. I mean, especially coming up from New Orleans, where I'm just like, oh, Hammond's smaller, it just won't be as diverse, but it is. Salad station, I don't know, like, it's quality materials and it's diversity of options. Like, it's very impressive that Hammond has, and it excites me to go to lunch every day.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
The Downtown Development District really spun out of the Main Street program.
I've always also loved the Main Street program and DDD programs so I'm happy that I get to, as a historic district, work with you guys, because it's also about loving where you came from and being able to come home and feel like it's the same place you left. Even though it's developed and yay, there's new business here and this was renovated or restored, rehabilitated in some way that's really cool, even though it has to move forward, you always want to feel like you're back home.
Why do you think downtown Hammond deserves to win the Great American Main Street Award?
Beautiful and interactive. And what I love about Hammond and why I think it does deserve this award is because not only does it love its past, but the way it helps to preserve and remember its past spurs it forward into the future. New developments, new families, people sticking around and remembering what made it great in the first place to keep it great.
But you know, you think about what makes downtown Hammond special. Of course, I'm an architect, but I would say it's the architecture, right? It's the beautiful historic buildings, the brickwork, and so you're creating outdoor rooms. As you walk down the sidewalk, you have buildings close to the sidewalk. You can look into the storefronts. You have canopies, street trees, the facades of the buildings. So you create outdoor spaces.
If you take a 20-year slice of time, what Hammond was at that point and what it is today, there's almost no comparison. The footprint is very much the same. The facades, mostly all have been redone. But more importantly, because of doing that, it's re-energized this community. And isn't that the core of what's supposed to happen anyway, to make it a pleasant place to live? There's just been a lot of excitement. I see good things continuing to come for downtown Hammond, and I'm very excited to be a part of that.